I didn't forget to record an intro. I don't know what you're talking about. What I do know is this means you're here, so hello there, friends. Welcome back to the series where I'm completing an Animal Crossing island in 30 days. We are now officially on day 7 of that journey, and more importantly, we are about to begin our very first build on this island. But before we get into it, here are the rules. And with that, let's hop right into the video. Eugene, seriously? You've got to stop this. As soon as we began the day on our island, Isabel delivered the news that Nook's Cranny is reopened today officially in its upgraded form, so we'll have to go check that out at some point. But before we can get to that, I've got a few things we need to do to prepare for today's video. First off, I am so tired of only having one outfit choice, so we're gonna hit a treasure island or two and grab some different pants and, most importantly, like 5 pairs of glasses, because I wear glasses IRL, but you wouldn't know that because my character's face is naked. We're also missing eyebrows. That's on the list of things to do today also. I didn't forget about the eyebrows. They're coming, just hold on. With our pants and glasses secured, it was finally time to hit a wardrobe and change up our look. Literally, if I had the chance, I could wear ripped jeans every day of my life, and I will reflect that in my Animal Crossing character. It's also about time I upgraded my hair from the starter hair to finally give myself my long, wavy hair. And now for the most important part, the eyebrows. So I grabbed 2 of them, and I'm not really sure which one I like more. I ended up going with the one on the right here, option 2, but I actually think I like the first one more, so we might change back to that. But I don't know, give me your thoughts. Which one do you like better? Should I keep this one? Then we finally made our way over to Nook's Cranny, and oh my god, it's the Eugene gnome. He strikes again. This man is haunting my existence, I swear. I swear we're almost done running around and doing errands, but I want to go ahead and upgrade my house because I'm out of storage again because I have a treasure island problem. So we're gonna need that upgraded storage ASAP. Bada bing, bada boom. We have a new house upgrade in store for us tomorrow. And with that, there's just one more thing we need to do. I made one more trip last night to come here and pay off their little RV, so look who we've got today. Our favorite customizing duo. I will never be over the injustice to Miss Reese, though. Like, she was perfect to have been able to customize the in-game clothes to different variants of, like, the shirts and pants and backpacks and whatever. Justice for our girl Reese in the next Animal Crossing. Since Cyrus is the only useful one in this game, it's time we talk to him. After that, I skip forward one day to upgrade my house, and double the storage means we've got to take some time to clean up. And now that we've cleared everything out of the way, I think it's high time we begin the actual build for this video in our first build on the island. Oh my god! And it is none other than Eugene who is here to ruin this moment. Again. Alright, now I'm doing something a little bit scary for this first build, and that is I am just running off of a vague idea that I have in my head. That is the only working plan that I have for right now.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan.
But no, seriously, like a few days ago, I had this image in my mind of having the path from the airport kind of go up and over to the right and having a curved bridge that then leads you directly in front of resident services. And for the actual bridge, I went back and forth between the brick bridge and the Zen bridge. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to go with. Ultimately, I decided on the Zen bridge, and I'm really glad that I did because the brown looks really good with the path code we picked out, and I think that the red brick bridge might have been a little bit too jarring. I got that bridge paid off immediately because I need to fix our path here, and once again, Eugene's here to witness an important event. Thank you, Eugene. Okay, now all that I need to do is go ahead and time travel forward a day so that way— guys, I forgot to tell you something. So you know how in the last couple videos we've had that thought bubble popping around? Well, it finally landed on someone. Edelwood's resident superhero pop star will no longer be on the island with us, but that's okay. She was only here for a short time anyways, and we are here to wish her a fond farewell. See, we can treat the villagers that we don't want on our island with respect and love as long as they're not rude to us or gross and flea infested. Eugene. Louis. But yeah, I usually have like a more concrete idea of what I would like a build to look like, or at the very least, I usually lay out like a mock-up of the path. If you've watched any of the other build videos for this channel, you guys know I usually like take the centerpiece of a path and kind of dot out, for lack of a better term, where I want the paths to go and what I want the structure to be. But I've had this idea in my head for days now, and we're just gonna send it. But especially because during this build, I was reminded of my rule that once the build is complete, it is done. I am not going to be allowed to go back and change it. And that is terrifying to me because I feel like I always find really good codes to use in places or have really good ideas for filler areas after the fact. So I'm nervous, but I think it's a really good challenge for me because it's gonna force us to commit to whatever we end up with. And I think that in the end, that'll be a good thing. And here's where you're kind of beginning to see more of the like mapping out and kind of seeing where paths might lead eventually, because really all that I had envisioned was like that area right there between the airport and resident services. That was the only idea I had. So when it comes to like how I was going to include resident services in this build or where the paths are going to go once they continue on in their separate directions, no idea. We're gonna figure that part out together. But speaking of incorporating resident services, I'm trying a couple different things here. I tried this like jail bars sort of thing as a divider here, and I like it, but I think it looks too natural for what we're going for here. It looks like something that I would build in my comfort zone. And that's not the vibe that I want for this entrance build. I want it to be much more city than I'm used to. So even though it took everything in me to do this, I changed it to the medieval building section, which I've never used before ever, but I think it is definitely getting across more of what I want to see out of this build, so I think that we're going to be moving more in that direction. I started digging up the first couple of trees, and then I played around with the idea of removing the dirt path, but I just couldn't commit to it, you know? I wanted so frantically to hang on to the little notes of natural core that I have ingrained in me. But we did add these cool street lamps, so it's more city, right? It's progress? Yeah, no, the rest of these trees are gonna have to go. And I mean, if I really decide that I like it better, I can always put them back. But for now, let's really commit to this whole branching out of our comfort zone thing. I grabbed some brick codes just to play around with the idea of hypothetically not having gardens at the front of resident services and instead having some sidewalk. So here's what these two codes look like with the building pieces underneath them. Of the two of these, I didn't really like the brown one as much because it just felt like it was too similar to the path that kind of just blended together. I liked the contrast of the gray ones more, so let's see how it looks with just the gray ones underneath here and some more like city elements too. Alright, I really like how this looks, but I want to check the creator of the pathway we're using and see if they have a sidewalk path that I like better. Oh my god, do they have a path that I like better? This is beautiful! Third time really is the charm. I love how the red sidewalk pulls in the reds from the building and the path kind of is dark enough, not quite black, but it like makes those little black accents on the walls pop. Listen to me, I almost sound like I know what I'm talking about. I am really struggling with this full inventory here, and I did it to myself. I don't know why I didn't just drop some of these items off to the side because I do not need every item in my inventory at this exact moment. Someone needs to go back and tell past Ashley that. Present Ashley can't do anything about it. Alright, now I'm almost done with making the right side of resident services symmetrical. I just needed to add one more thing, just another natural bench, and we can move on. Are you f***ing kidding me? Gonzo, you are lucky you're on the mood board. So help me. That's not a joke. Please, help. Please move. Fine, Gonzo. If you can't help me, I'll go see someone who can. All right, so what do we think of the black ones? Gonzo seems to like them over there in the corner. I see you still. I don't know. I think that it's too much black. I think now we're getting too dark. So I want to switch them back to the brown, but let's try the skinny ones. Ooh, okay, but what about the black ones? Yeah, I think it still feels too dark to me. So let's go back to the skinny brown ones. Those were definitely my favorite. Geez, finally. Thank you, Gonzo. It took me long enough. Putting a bench down should not have to take me that long. Now we've still got to get rid of some of the natural elements over here, so you'll see me replacing those with some sidewalk. And now my new problem child is trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with the front side of the river. Because, like I said, we don't really have a plan. I'm just kind of trying everything and seeing what works, but let's go ahead and try. Since I couldn't incorporate the gardens on that side by resident services, I've kind of always had this image in my head of like some trees that block your view so you can't really see resident services from the airport. Just kind of trying to artificially put some distance in between you and the airport. Despite the fact that I know that whenever you visit this island, you'll be starting from resident services, but let me dream, okay? Let me dream. As much as I love to see the villagers roaming around my builds, I would prefer to see them roaming once the build is done, and not while I'm trying to build. Biscuit, Louie, Deirdre, and freaking Gonzo, literally everyone is here. We have a whole island, an entire island. I guess to be fair, this is the only part of the island where exciting things are happening and there's actual infrastructure, so fair enough, I'll let it slide. I really just cannot let go of this idea of having a garden at the front. It's the cottagecore and like forest core girly in me that just is so desperately trying to break out. It's not gonna happen. It's not. Spoiler alert, it's not gonna happen. We don't make it work. But I'm excited for you guys to get to see where we finally land on with a lot of this. Because despite it being very trial and error, mostly error, I think it comes out really good. But let's go ahead and use this as an opportunity to slow down and kind of look at what we've got so far. So far, I'm really liking the general layout that we have. I like where everything is situated for the moment, but I just really can't get over, like, the gardens at the front. I don't think they're working. This is me starting to realize they're not working, but past me is going to cling on to that hope just a little bit longer than she needs to. Anyways, what you're seeing here is I decided that originally I was going to put a second bridge here and this little area will lead to the farmer's market, but I think a land bridge works better because I think another big bridge here would crowd it up too much. But let me know, do you guys think I should just put a second bridge there or do we like the land bridge? I guess we'll see. But now that we know kind of what the future holds for the right side over here, let's shift our focus over to the rest of resident services and just kind of generally the left side over here. I'm not really sure what I should do here, if I should go full garden or if I'm going to stick with the sidewalk. Although I don't commit all the way yet, I get distracted by the thought of cute little ducks in our river. How cute would that be? But first, I've got to go find a little water code for them. So, about that, I forgot to continue recording once I found a little water code. Don't worry, I recognized it pretty quickly, but let me show you what you missed. I have finally realized that I want to try bricks in this area instead of all of the dark dirt and doing it more like a flowery thing. You can kind of see I started that over here. And most importantly, I gave our duck couple some water so it kind of looks like they're swimming. Isn't that cute? Alright, but now that everyone's caught back up to speed, yes, you heard me right, we're finally doing away with all of this naturalness up here, and since I'm finally ditching the thought of a garden here, I figured I'd go ahead and expand it to kind of make the walkway a little more interesting. Just because that area off to the side, I don't really want to be our focus when you first come to the island. And so the process of bricklaying begins. Yeah, that's boring. Let's go ahead and skip that. Anyways, I decided that this little sidewalk area would be the perfect spot to have like some little tables and a spot for the community to kind of meet and do things. By the community, I do in fact mean all of the villagers that keep getting in my way. Just sit on the chairs instead. Problem solved. No, but seriously, the resident services area is a spot where a lot of villagers like to hang out, so I kind of wanted it to feel like this was a community hub where You could sit with a cup of coffee or maybe like play some chess. I think of The Sims whenever I'm building because like if you're a Sims player, you know we love our chessboards and community spaces, all right? Now, besides that, I'm just kind of filling in the rest of this little community spot here, and I've continued to expand it over to the left side just to kind of give us some more space to work with. What I'm learning from this experience so far is that it is very easy to take up a ton of space with these like city core areas because all I really have here is 3 tables, 6 chairs, a clock, a phone booth, you know. It's not very many items at all. It's like less than 10 items unless we count like fencing and stuff, but it just takes up so much room and we desperately need that because if we're gonna decorate every tile on this island by the end of the month, also, why the frick did past Ashley give herself that stipulation? Every tile? Like that includes my beaches. What the heck am I gonna do for my beaches? I guess we're crossing that bridge when we get there. We've spent a lot of time on this little section to the left here though, so let's go ahead and move back over to the right because I still need to figure out something to do with this area. And I think the solution to this area is going to be actually extending the pathway down so that you can kind of use it as a beach access. I still don't know what I'm doing for the beaches. Don't get it twisted, there's no plan besides, let's put some steps here and see if it works out later. And in our case, that means it has to work out later, so good luck, future me. Speaking of pathway, I'd actually really like to fill that in more. So now you're just gonna kind of see me running around and trying some different items in a few places and kind of getting a vibe for what I want to put in certain spaces. I'm having a really hard time trying to decide what to put between these 2 trees. Hold on, guys. I just thought of the perfect thing to put here. Hold on, give me a sec. All right, this is it. The absolute perfect item was built for this moment. Oh, look at that. Look at how perfect it is for that spot. Except now that I've filled the easy spot, I'm having a really hard time finding something else to put on the road. Break to look at Sleeping Biscuit. All right, and back to struggling to figure out what to do with this area. The only constructive thing I really managed to accomplish was figuring out that I wanted to put the hedge fencing along that back wall, and I don't hate where the scooter looks, so it's not the worst thing to end up in that spot. However, the worst thing to end up in a spot is Nook's Cranny currently, because if I want to continue working on the pathway and expanding it over to the right, this is gonna have to go. And that's a problem because we currently have an open plot from where Agent S moved out. So I think that the plan for the rest of this video is going to be just to finish up what we can do now, and in tomorrow's episode, we will go ahead and go on that villager hunt for Shep, and hopefully find him really quickly so that we can get back to finishing this build, but just know that part 2 of this build might be a couple days from now. Even with Nook's Cranny still in the way, we managed to make some more progress on this little bridge area and putting the little hedge fences over there. I'm excited to get some more little items to fill that area in. I think it could really use some more streetlights, but for now, that just about exhausts what we can do on that side of the build. Though, there's plenty of stuff to be done over here. And right now, you're kind of seeing me struggle with placing the last few items in the seating area, but soon enough, we're gonna have to worry about all of this blank, empty space behind us, and that's not gonna be fun because I have absolutely no idea what to put back there. In the meantime, I know that we're gonna put some path here, so let's go ahead and get that all placed down and ready to go. And now I'm just going to lay a bunch of sidewalk and hope that a magical, wonderful idea strikes me. It struck me. All right. Now we're gonna do one of those little fake building kind of things, but we're actually gonna be using some specific codes that are by Tropicitch, I believe. Ta-da! Let me try that again. And bam! Newspaper stand! Wait just a minute. Something's still not right here. All right, there we go. Now we're looking like an actual newspaper stand. We've got the stalls and the backwards bookcases. But if you're doing any kind of city core island or even an island with city core elements like we are, definitely check out this creator. Their code that we used here is on my Pinterest board, and I definitely recommend it. So yeah, go check them out. Now, this is where I really shine, and that's the small space fillers around predetermined areas. Like, we've got this newspaper stand here. Okay, great. Now I can work my magic with filler. It's the figuring out what to do with the big space that gets me. Now, we definitely need some more stuff to fill in this area. I'd like some more like newspaper stacks and things, but we're gonna have to fill everything else in a later episode because I've been recording all day and simply I am EB. And with that, be sure to tune into tomorrow's episode to see if we can keep up our good luck with villager hunting. And on your way out, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube jazz, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Bye! Finally, an accurate reaction for every time I have to see Louie on our island.